Hi, good afternoon to everybody. Mr. Dr. Nagendra, Mr. Matthew sir, Professor Jyotish, dear friends, students, and I think Anand Sinha is online, is probably watching this important occasion. Let me congratulate for this 63rd annual Foundation Day celebrations of NIRDPR. As Mr. Matthew rightly said, it is an occasion to introspect and then lay the path forward. And I think I should congratulate Dr. Narendra for taking this initiative to rekindle the activities, and I wish him good luck. Along with that, I wish to request him that he may be staying here long put for long innings so that the institution can have the benefit of his leadership. Dear friends, NIRDPR is an autonomous organization, and no other governmental body would have this much freedom, autonomy to experiment, to try out, explore, and pave the way for new paths for rural development. Rural development is a huge area, huge canvas, and we should keep experimenting, keep exploring, coming up with ideas, and then find the appropriate processes and tools to translate these ideas into action. Of course, I'm happy that we have come out of the dark shadow of COVID, and of course some dark shadows which specifically this institution had for some time, and we have come out of that. I'm very happy to say that. I would like to mention the global scenario. Of course, the last 70 years we had done exceedingly well in various specters, but I don't think that is enough, still a long way to go. While addressing the evolution of our vision, to rethink the vision, to reformulate our approach, and I think the total global scenario or the position of our country, position of our rural India in terms of the other similarly placed countries would be relevant. I was going through some news reports in terms of global hunger index, we have slipped down, human freedom index, we have slipped down. I'm not taking the exact the statistics. Gender gap slipped down, and as I understand, to fill the gender gap, which we keep talking, we keep telling, it is estimated that we might take about 265 years to bridge that gap if we want to really bring the gender equality. So that is the journey which we have to cover. The labor participation has come down, and there are more impoverished people because of COVID. Many more families, millions of families have fallen back into poverty trap. So it is a humongous task for the whole machinery, the whole group of stakeholders who are working in this sector. Of course, there are a lot of positives. Of course, the COVID has reoriented our whole approach. As we were seeing the virtual platforms that have come in to help us, we had the fortune of having the presence of Honorable Governor, by being in Puducherry, participating in this important auspicious occasion. The great farmers' contribution to keep feeding us with bountiful and stockpiles of food. There are many more, but the journey is still far, far away to reach our target. As we are focusing, and I think I should appreciate that, focusing on the vision statement and taking the various cross-sectional views would help in formulating the exact vision. You know that the rural development sector, there cannot be one single sentence vision forever to come. It has to change, it keep evolving. We have to keep improving, we have to keep changing to the circumstances that are available. And I think this is the right time to move forward in that direction. Few points on what exactly needed for us in NIRD to take on. Of course, the decentralized action on a saturation mode. We are in the sector of building rural development leaders, capacity building of suggestions which have made some quick actions, I think, based on the existing scenario, I would like to mention here. NIRDPR is doing everything on the earth. And I think as Mr. Professor Jyotish has mentioned, other speakers have mentioned, you name it, we have some activity in the form of research or training or something or the other. But what is required is, out of all these blocks, which blocks are going to impact the most? We need to identify that. If you say the quality of life, which are the blocks, which are the steps which are going to impact that ultimate quality of life of the human being in the rural ecosystem? And we have to focus on that. So I think identifying those blocks, steps, would be key to lay down the exact mission or action strategy to achieve, suppose if you decide that quality of life of the person. I think that is a very good idea, focusing with a vision of improving the quality of life of a rural person. So we have to identify those and focus on that, put our energy, and then do whatever that is required to achieve that. I think towards that, to achieve, high quality research is required. As Mr. Vijayanand has mentioned, research-based planning, research-based models, development models, will give us the background ideas, and based on that we can ideate, we can pilot those ideas, we can take the feedback and then go for the capacity building and then creating those leaders, 250,000 leaders which I mentioned. So a very high quality research approach is required. No doubt NIRDPR had been doing a lot of research, but I think it has to be stepped up in terms of both quality and quantity. And faculty alone may not be enough to do. They have to connect with other institutions, other agencies, both national, international, to scale them up. In the last 1.5 years, I had been reading the print media, and I see a lot of articles from Ajim Premji Institution or Ashoka University professors and IPFP and so many other organizations, but unfortunately not many from NIRDPR. I haven't seen a single article in the prominent newspapers to propagate, to communicate what exactly our thinking is. So we have to be there in the public domain to present our ideas, present our action, present our work which is being done, communicate. That presence will attract so many other organizations to willing to work with you, willing to work with the institution. They will not come just like that. Yes, there is a goodwill of the institution which we had been capturing, we had been encashing all these years. But I think we have to create that goodwill further so that we can attract large number of good minds to work with us, to work in this sector. Scale up research in terms of quality and quantity. Ideation, piloting, feedback, piloting, because we have to implement what we are telling. We have to actually try out on the ground. Like I think the social audit goes and does the actual social audit. Based on that, they take the feedback. Or now the Panchayat cluster development program, which is being tried out. So we have to soil our hands, go and implement it. Then only we realize what all the problems, issues, and then reorient our thinking. And then readjust whole our SOP and then move forward for better results. Our research should always be prospective, not postmortem. Postmortem is definitely required to a certain extent, but look for the ideas which are prospective, which can really give out-of-box ideas which can be taken and then put before the ministry. That's how NIRDPR can become think tank. Ultimately, NIRDPR should not get relegated to, okay, ministry wants this training program, so we keep on doing it. We had been doing excellently in that. But that's not enough. I think we have to go with our own prospective ideas to the ministry that, well, you are doing this program like this. Why not we try like this? The result is likely to be better, which we have tried out in a small pilot. So that is the requirement of the day. Keep generating ideas and work on in a connected way. Enlist high-level minds and work with them. Collaborate and connect with that sort of people. There is a facility I think we could not utilize very effectively, like junior fellowship, senior fellows, and so on and so forth, if required, that need to be expanded. And in fact, we already have the approved systems in NIRDPR where, like, an expert wishes to come, let us say, from US or from UK and come and work for a month here. We provide the hospitality and then they take up a particular topic. A faculty can be attached with that, and then they can work on a very, very high level research and then produce a document and then leave. Can we attract a large number of such people? It doesn't cost much. They come on their own. They don't require a very heavy remuneration, but you can attract, like, let us say, a very good RD mind from a very good university across the globe or within India. And then he or she can stay put here for a month or 2 months or 3 months with our hostel facility and then the canteen or mess, whatever it may be. They would love, they would like to. Large number of such people can be attracted and they can multiply your hands. Not that everywhere we have to go and recruit. So tap that resource. And of course, the existing faculty, high-level development, faculty development programs, though of course we have started a large number of such initiatives, but it has to be scaled up to very high level, like deputing to other universities, other countries, other excellent institutions. In terms of these ideation is a continuous process, constant process. It cannot stop. Okay, once we do it and then we can wait for next 2 years. No. I suggest that there could be a group of high-thinking group who can view the whole rural development ecosystem from 360-degree perspective and keep suggesting the ideas. With your daily run-around, that may not be possible to focus on such high level. But I think under the leadership of the DZ, with some both external, internal minds, high-level minds who have connect with the RD and Panchayat Raj system, can come together at a frequent interval, maybe once in a quarter, once in 3 months, or once in 2 months, depending on the necessity, and spend half a day and chit-chat and then come up with, they bring in what other institutions are doing, that inputs, and then From that, ideas can flow, and then that can become source for our futuristic prospective research in this sector. I think when we talk of quality of the people, quality of life of the people, we may have to elaborate the scope. As I was reading somewhere, the Harvard Business School has done a long-term study on multiple people across the globe. Who is the happiest person and who is living the longevity is the highest? The person who has that social connect, who has that ability to connect with the neighborhood, the neighbor family, and especially in the present context of social media, which is dividing, creating the walls and barriers. Maybe virtually we are connected, but physically, mentally we are not that connected. So the cultural milieu has to be taken into account if you're talking about the quality of life, good quality of life. Maybe NIRDPR has to look at what cultural ethos, values are having in that village, or is creating that synergy in that village, creating that happiness in that village. Maybe that is another area which is going to open up. Dear friends, it's a very, very happy occasion to be back with you. And I have all confidence on the faculty of NIRDPR and the SIRDPRs and the state institutions and other staff members to take these ideas forward and really create an NIRDPR as a real center of excellence and create National Institute of Excellence in the rural development Panchayat Raj sector. And I'm sure under the leadership of Dr. Narendra, it is possible. I wish you all the best and thank you very much.